Katie, Lou, a few people have been on the witness stand this morning, so we know that Travis McMichael's testimony has wrapped up. Right now, the court is in recess, but I do want to give you an idea of what's going on right now outside of the courtroom, right behind me. We know the estimate was supposed to be at about 100 or so faith leaders from across the country. I can tell you there's at least 300 behind me right now. They are gathered waiting for the Reverend Al Sharpton to arrive, who I'm told he has landed, but the vigil has been pushed back from noon now to 1 p.m. And just right here to my right, there's another group of pastors right now under a very large tent. They're taking a little break, eating right now, again, waiting for the Reverend Al Sharpton to arrive. And then that prayer vigil we mentioned will likely begin at 1 p.m. But right now, let's take you inside of the courtroom for a quick look at what you need to know at this hour. So we know Travis McMichael, he was back on the stand for day 2 of testimony. His attorneys have asked the judge not to allow questions about Travis's alleged use of the N-word over Arbery's body after the shooting. Now, the defense says the only witness that heard this was fellow defendant William Roddy Bryan, and he does not plan to testify. Now, there has been a new request to strike one juror who defense attorneys say has been falling asleep during the trial. Now, that juror had earlier been moved to a seat closer to the bailiff so they could watch her more closely. The judge said today that he'd keep an eye on her. And outside, as we mentioned, faith leaders, including the Reverend Al Sharpton, are expected to hold a prayer vigil and rally. Again, that is set to happen at 1 this afternoon in a little less than an hour. Now, the presence of black pastors, we know, has been contentious because it's something that a lot of people are talking about, including Bryan's attorney, saying last week he didn't want any more black pastors in the courtroom, claiming that they would influence the jurors. And for more on that, we're going to toss things over now to Renata DiGregorio, who is literally in the thick of things, in the midst of all of these pastors right now. She is right behind me in front of the Glynn County Courthouse with the latest on things there. Renata.
Keitha, there are more people out here than we've seen this entire trial. Hundreds of people. They've come from all over. There are tents set up. People have come with their pins, their shirts, their signs. So many people took offense to Goff's comments about black pastors. So now they're here with these signs. So now let's take us inside to talk about what's happening in the courtroom. As for inside, with Travis McMichael testifying again, he's been acting calm again today. He testified he never told Arbery he was under arrest because there wasn't time. At one point, Travis admits there's no probable cause to have arrested Arbery. Travis says Arbery was running toward him and he thought Arbery was going to attack him. The prosecution asked him if he thought a man who spent 5 minutes running away from him as he held a weapon and his father shouted that he would blow his head off was going to try to engage with him. And Travis said yes.
What were you nervous about while giving the statement?
I just killed a man. I had blood on me still. It was the most traumatic event of my life.
Still no decision on whether the state will be allowed to ask Travis if he uses a racial slur standing over Ahmaud Arbery. The judge says he'll be taking that into consideration. Live in Brunswick, Renata DiGregorio, First Coast News, on your side.